So, just a little story about like what goes on before the movie. Obviously, they show trailers for the upcoming movies, and me, I'm expecting like A24's typical trailers, and then I was reminded that this movie is PG, and so I saw trailers for the Smurfs movie that's coming out in July, Elio, um, and just all sorts of like kid-centric movies that A, were not from A24, and B, weren't any other like art house kids films. So that was that was a bit of a shock to see that before the movie even started. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and yeah, my long weekend of covering movies and all sorts of other stuff has finally come to a close. If you are wondering where my Dead Meat Horror Awards reaction is, well, I did not know that I did not have enough space on my laptop where I record my videos, and so it ran out of space before I could complete the reaction, and I'm going to re-record it now with just like giving you guys the winners. I'm going to try and do that tonight, if at all possible. But before I do that, and before also I go and get something to eat, I want to talk about A24's newest film, The Legend of Ochi. This one stars Helena Zengler, Finn Wolfhard, Emily Watson, and Willem Dafoe. And it tells the story about a tribe of people living up in the Carpathian Alps who hunt down these creatures called the Ochi. When the daughter of the general that kind of hunts down these Ochi, named Yuri, goes and rescues one of like the baby Ochis from getting caught in a bear trap. She makes it her mission to nurse it back to health and return it to its family. But will she be able to do it before the troop of soldiers hunt this Ochi down and kill her? Kill her and the baby Ochi? Who knows? So I was very interested in this movie off of the trailers, and from the appearance that this might be like for the A24's like first venture into like adventure fare, like fantasy films, but it did not turn out quite like that. Yes, it is still like an adventure fantasy type film, but I would also make the argument that this is A24's first venture into family films. Because, like I said in the intro, this movie is rated PG, and there's not like a whole lot of violence. Like, yeah, guns are, shot at like, fantastical creatures. There's, a swear word towards the tail end of the film. But other than that, it's like, this is pretty, like, it is like, it's like A24 made a Disney, an old school Disney animation film, but in live action. And I have to give props to that from writer and director Isaiah Saxton, I believe, Saxton or Saxon. It's one of the two. I think it's Saxon. Isaiah Saxon, who I looked it up on IMDb before recording this. This is his directorial debut, and I think he did a really good job in making this movie. The dialogue, I think, was really, really good, really, really interesting. Of course, with it being set in the Carpathian Alps, there's a bit of like whimsy in the dialogue in terms of like the language that they use. I also think that he did a really good job with his shot compositions, because every single like landscape shot in the film is absolutely beautiful. Landscape cinematography is absolutely amazing. If I were to nitpick on something, I would say like the background CG isn't like the best thing in the world. Like in the movie, he uses a lot of puppetry for the Ochi, which I love that. All the puppetry work was absolutely awesome. And yes, you have to like green screen out or like key out all of the puppets that are moving, or the puppeteers that are moving these puppets. That I can understand. And I'll get to more about the puppetry in a little bit. But the backgrounds just looked just a little weird. So it's like, it's completely understandable. But on to like the puppetry in this, it was really, really good. I gained an appreciation for puppetry through watching the Chucky series that was on USA, and the puppetry in that show is absolutely awesome. And so is this one. Like, all of them absolutely astounding in this, and it gives the creatures that tactile like realness to them that I think CG can do sometimes, but not all the time. So having the puppeteers and the puppets in there is absolutely awesome. I also have to give major props to the man that did the composing for this movie, David Longstrength. I believe that's his last name, if I remember correctly. He did an absolutely amazing job with the composing. Like, there are rare instances in the score that he uses like horns or other reed instruments, but like the main instrument that he uses in this score is the flute, or other derivatives of the flute. And what I find interesting about the flute is it can make absolutely beautiful music, but in some cases, it's, whether it be like maybe either a wrong pitch or maybe even wrong chords, it can sound like menacing and scary. And I think he found the right balance of making it scary when it needed to be scary, and making it whimsical when it needed to be whimsical. Like, it was really, really well done with the score. So props to him on that, for making that score really, really sing. The actors really did an amazing job. Zengler did an awesome job as kind of like, the fish out of water in the family who feels, more comfortable outside in the wilderness. To me, the standout was Willem Dafoe, of course. Like, Willem Dafoe is amazing in absolutely everything that he does. He did an amazing job of being like that stoic soldier that's like hardened in his beliefs about, what these creatures are capable of doing. Finn Wolfhard did a good job of being like that, the yes man soldier who, eventually gets that aha moment towards the end of the film. It's like where he says to Willem Dafoe's character, like, she didn't run away. I let her go. And Willem Dafoe's like, shush, be quiet. And Emily Watson as this kind of like sheep herder out up in the mountains that lives far away from the village, also had very interesting layers to her character, and also has a very interesting backstory that kind of ties in with everybody else in the cast. So I found her performance to be really, really good. Would I say this is A24's best movie? No, I wouldn't say that. Would I say that it's their most interesting one? Kinda. it's their first foray into like, a fantasy type of film. But they also kind of did that with Death of a Unicorn earlier on in this year. So I can't really say that it's like their most like intriguing one. But is it their most bold and daring one? I would say so, because this is their first attempt at doing like a family film that, everybody can watch. So I have to commend them for, trying to, branch out and go into, other directions with the type of content that they're releasing. But yeah, I would say if you have the time and if it's playing near you, I would definitely go check out Legend of Ochi, and potentially take your kids, because you never know. This might be the film that hooks them into watching all sorts of other A24 films down the road. So you never know. But yeah, that is pretty much it for my week of content. But next weekend, I'll actually be away for a while. But there's going to be content for you guys, not only throughout the week, but also the weekend, because I plan on doing and getting ready for Mission Impossible 8 later on in May by starting out my Mission Impossible rewatch review series here soon. So hopefully the weekend that I'm gone, I'll have those videos raring to go and ready to be uploaded. But in the meantime, guys, be safe out there. Watch out for creatures in the woods, and I will catch you next time.